It was the night of my cousin's wedding, and everything seemed perfect, except for one moment that still makes my stomach churn. The ceremony had been beautiful, the guests were happy, and the reception was lively. But it wasn't until the speeches that things took a strange turn. My uncle, the father of the bride, was giving his speech. He was a bit of a character, always the center of attention, always the joker. But that night, he seemed genuinely emotional as he talked about how proud he was of his daughter. The room was quiet, everyone listening intently, some even wiping away tears. But then, just as he was wrapping up, my cousin Lisa, my aunt's daughter, stood up from her seat. She wasn't supposed to speak, but it was clear she had something on her mind. "I just want to say something too," she said, her voice a little too loud, drawing the attention of the room. Everyone stopped and turned to her. I could tell by the way her shoulders tensed that she was nervous. But what she said next caught me completely off guard. I've always felt like the second choice in this family. It's like, everyone loves my cousin here, she pointed to me. But when it comes to me, it's always been about keeping up appearances. Being the perfect child. The room went silent. My heart raced. Was this a joke? Was she really airing this out at the wedding? Lisa's words hung in the air like a heavy cloud. I glanced around the room, but no one seemed to know how to react. Some people shifted uncomfortably in their seats, while others exchanged awkward glances. It wasn't that Lisa's feelings weren't valid, but the timing couldn't have been worse. "I mean, let's be real," she continued. "This wedding is just another example of the family playing favorites. I've been overlooked for years, and it's about time someone said it." I felt my face flush. My uncle, who had been so emotional just moments before, stood there, frozen. I could see his face turning red as he processed what she was saying. "Lisa," I whispered, trying to get her attention, but she wasn't listening. And then, the silence dragged on. No one spoke, no one moved. It felt like time had stopped. My mom was sitting beside me, her eyes wide with shock, and my dad had his hand over his mouth, trying not to make a sound. Finally, my aunt spoke up, her voice trembling. "Lisa, this isn't the time or place for this." The awkwardness was suffocating. I wanted to disappear, but I couldn't. My cousin's wedding had turned into a battlefield for family drama. Lisa, realizing the weight of what she had just done, stood there, frozen. Her eyes darted around the room, noticing how everyone was looking at her, waiting for an explanation, but she just turned, mumbled something, and sat down. The rest of the night was a blur. People tried to go back to dancing, but the tension remained. I couldn't escape the feeling that everyone was still processing what had just happened. The most awkward silence I've ever experienced. Later, when I spoke to Lisa, she was quiet, almost apologetic, but the damage had been done. The most awkward silence I've ever been a part of wasn't just the tension. It was the knowledge that nothing would ever be the same after that moment.